So for example one here, and we actually did like some situations in class where we kind of looked at these kind of circumstances before. Two cards are drawn without replacement from a well-shuffled deck of 52 playing cards. And again, we're assuming that you all know what playing cards are, that you know there's 4 suits, face cards, ace through 10 are your non-face cards. Jack, kings, and queens are your face cards. We're not including jokers here. So things like that. And so you're asked these questions here. What's the probability that the first card drawn is a heart? Because now we're picking 2 cards out of this. What is the probability that the second card drawn is a heart, given that the first card drawn was not a heart? And C, what is the probability that the second card drawn is a heart, given that the first card drawn was a heart? Hearts. The probability of the first card is a heart. So we're picking 2 cards. And we're saying, okay, when I pick my first card, what's the probability that that first card drawn would be a heart? Well, hearts are basically one of the 4 suits in a deck of cards. So I can look at it. Well, 13 out of the 52, or basically just 1/4. It's one suit out of the 4 that's on cards. So the probability of getting a heart would be 1/4. Now we're focusing our attention on the second card, but we're going to be also being asked to consider something happened with the first card as we do it. So for part B, it says, what is the probability that the second card drawn is a heart, given that the first card drawn was not a heart? So we're not looking for the probability that the second card, or in particular, just the second card, being a heart. It's the second one being a heart, given that the first card was not a heart. Well, assuming that we picked a card beforehand and it was not a heart, that means that, one, I'm going to only have 51 cards left, but I'm going to have all the hearts left to pick from, which means all 13 of them. So the probability of me picking a heart on the second pick, given that the first pick was not a heart, would be 13 out of 51. And for part C, the probability that the second card drawn is a heart, given that the first card drawn was a heart. Well, now when I consider that, well, the first card drawn being a heart means that I picked one of the 13 hearts out of the 52 card deck, so now there's 51 cards left, and there's only 12 hearts left. So that would be a 12 out of 51 for the probability of getting a heart, given that the first card was a heart. So that's an example of how to handle the given that situation.